Okay, so I'm going to get started. So yesterday I dropped a video on my favorite white shirts and how to style them. And I showed a lineup of my shirts, but I didn't go into detail. And I know a lot of you have asked me to see what are my shirts, what do I like about them, how do I wear them. So that's what we're going to go into. I have 11 shirts. I'll keep things moving. I won't go bore you with too many details. And if you have questions, feel free to ask. The first one is the Quint's Oxford. This is a relaxed fit Oxford shirt that I wore in the video. And it has a nice, thick, the material is just that it's just an Oxford. So it's so much thicker than a poplin. And so it has some stability. And I love it because I can pop the collar and it stays up all day. And I wore a black shirt today so that you can see the shirts that I'm talking about. But I do have this shirt in white as well. And I have linked as many as I could here in YouTube shopping, but I've also put a link down in the description so you can shop any of the shirts that you see here on my Shop My. So yeah, I love this shirt. It has an oversized fit. It's long sleeve, so I can roll up the sleeve. It's just a very traditional looking shirt, almost like a menswear inspired shirt. It has a little bit of a boxy cut, so it's roomy. And I like that. I like to have a little bit of room in my shirts so I don't feel like it's pulling across my back or that I'm moving around in it all day. I can do whatever and I'm comfortable. Like after this call, I could go out in the garden and start doing some stuff out there and I'd be completely comfortable in what I'm wearing. So that's what I love about this Quint's Oxford. They have it in 4 colors. They have it in a black and white stripe, the white, blue, and pink. And I have all of them except the pink. I might need to get the pink. And then the next one that I have, which I absolutely love, is the exact same as this shirt. It's from Frank and Eileen. Now, this is probably the priciest out of the group, but gosh, I love going to these shirts. They are my diehard go-to shirts all the time. The quality is just really beautiful. They kind of do a little distressing on it too. Like this has a little, see the it's not like they kind of rough it up. And there's always like, here's a little bit of a raw hem that's been damaged a little. But I love these shirts. This is the exact same shirt. So you can see what it looks like on me. I don't have it tucked in or anything. And it's got a nice length to it. I can tuck it if I want to. And this is the exact same shirt, but this one has a ruffle collar. So this is the Eileen from Frank and Eileen. And it comes in like 25 colors. And when you sign up for their website, you get a discount on your first purchase. So if you haven't done that and you really want to splurge on a treat for yourself that you'll wear all the time, I love the Frank and Eileen shirts. The next one I bought early on from Quint's. I think this was my first purchase from them. And this is they didn't have the oversized Oxford. And that's really what I wanted. So I bought the men's. This is a men's Oxford shirt. And it actually is a button down. You can see the buttons here on the collar, as opposed to a button front shirt, which is just buttons down the front, not at the neckline. And I like them both, but I actually like the fit for me on the Quint's relaxed fit women's version. And if any of you are wondering from a sizing standpoint, I'll tell you my sizes and my weights so you can know everything. I always buy their shirts in extra large. I'm 190 pounds and I'm 5'7". So if that helps give you some idea of where you're going to fall with your sizing, that'll help. The next one I have, which I also really love, and I have this in 4 colors, is the J. Crew. It's it's an Oxford, but it's kind of a mid-weight between, it's not as heavy as the Oxfords I've just shown you, but it's not quite as light as a traditional cotton poplin. And these are also oversized. So they have a nice little boxy fit. They run about the same length, maybe an inch longer than these Frank and Eileen ones. Let me compare it to the Quints. And if you're just coming on and you want to buy any of these, I have links here in YouTube shopping. And if you go right to the top of the description, I've linked to all of the shirts that I'm talking about. So they're the same length. Probably why I like them, because they hit right at my hip bone. And that's where I like things to hit. It's not too long that it's a tunic and I feel frumpy. And it's not too short that I feel like, oh, if I move, my stomach's hanging out. And these, everything I've shown you so far in these shirts, these are my everyday wear. Like, I do everything in these. They are my absolute favorites. I buy them in every color and I just grab them on a constant basis. They're part of my daily uniform. And I feel good in them. I feel like I could get up, like I said, and go gardening. I could film. I could go out to dinner. I might dress it up a little bit with more jewelry or a scarf or something like that, or a sweater over my shoulders. But these are my go-tos. And then in the lighter weights, I've got a couple Eileen Fisher. Now, these are more of a true cotton poplin, and they're much better for getting into spring and summer. They're really good for layering. Oh, and I do layer all of these with sweaters, all of them, whether it's just on my shoulders or full on. But if you're looking for something with not a lot of bulk and you want breathability, I really like the Eileen Fisher cotton poplins for them, for that purpose. And I did notice some of these are on sale right now, which is good because Eileen Fisher's a little pricey too, but you get good quality that's going to last a long time. And it's not going to go out of style. Just going to take a quick drink. And if you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask. If there's something you want to know while I'm talking, go ahead and ask. Or if you want to see a shirt again, let me know. Okay, we have not seen the last of my Quint's shirts. Here's another one. This is an actual cotton poplin. And let's see, let's go to my, this is my Oxford from them. And this is the cotton poplin. And I would say it's like half the weight. It's very, and it's a finer fabric. It feels great. It has a nice crispiness to it. Just a lovely shirt all around. I don't tend to wear these as often, the Oxford, as much, the poplin, as much as I wear the Oxford, because the Oxford to me is a thicker fabric and it's just kind of wash and go. Whereas this one, I might need to steam it, even hanging up in my closet. It's going to get a couple wrinkles. That I had steamed this one at some point and I can tell it's just got some wrinkles just from hanging in the closet. But this is a great layering piece. So if it's a little bit cooler, a little bit warmer weather and I want to layer it up, but don't want to be super hot, this is a great option. Another shirt that I absolutely adore, and I've bought this. Now wanted to mention this Quint's shirt. I have it in olive green. I always get a ton of compliments when I wear the olive green. I have it in blue. Yeah, I really like all of these. Oh, I've got a question here. What's the difference in fit between the two Quint's shirts? I have the Oxford. Okay, so that's a really good question. Let me pull those both out. Now these are both extra large, but this cotton poplin is not as roomy. This is a relaxed fit Oxford. So you're going to have more room through the body, kind of like this. So I like this boxy fit. But this one is going to be more streamlined to your body. I tend to have a few issues sometimes with it gaping at the bust just because it's a little bit more fitted. So if I'm moving, I might have a little gaping with this, but I usually layer it to avoid that problem. Whereas this Oxford, I never have that. You can see here, I have so much room that it never is pulling along my bust line. So, and if it helps to know, I'm a 40 triple D. So there we go. We've shown everything today. Now, let's get into this next one. This one is from Merci, and it's also a ruffle collar like this one. But this ruffle collar is pretty short. It's almost like it's got a little mandarin collar and then the ruffle on top of it. Whereas this one has a high collar and then the ruffle. And there's a little ruffle detailing on the front, and it doesn't go all the way down. It's kind of a half button. And I have this in navy too. And it's a lighter weight. It also has ruffle here on the sleeve, which is so cute. I love the detail. It's a little bit more cropped. It's not cropped, but it's shorter than all of the other shirts I'm showing here. In fact, I can come back so you can see. So it's probably 2 to 3 inches shorter. So instead of having this kind of curve on the front and on the back, it just hits here and goes straight across. So it does hit like true hip bone length, but I wear these so much in the spring and summer because they're just a really nice lightweight cotton poplin, and that little ruffle detail makes me feel very polished. So let's see, I had another question here. What brand streamer do I have and would I recommend it? I am streaming straight from YouTube. I haven't gone on. I'm going to be going live 3 times a week for the entire month. We'll see how we like this. And I've got lots of good topics, but I have my camera set up here with, I'm just streaming live. And then I have my computer set up right down here so I can actually read any questions that you're asking and they won't go away the way they do on the camera. Oh. Hi, Autumn. So glad you came in. Great to see you. Thanks for coming to my live. Autumn is another YouTuber, and her name's Autumn Beckman. She does a channel of handbags. Talks about all designer handbags. If you are a designer handbag girly, go check out Autumn Beckman's site. You're going to love it. She's so up to date on designer bags. I love it. All right, the next one I have is this one from Chico's. Now, this is one of their no iron shirts, and it's a 3/4 sleeve, and I love that the sleeve has a little turn here. It's a blend because that's the only way you're going to get a no iron shirt. Let's see here if I can find the content. Here it is. It's really tucked in there. This is a cotton poly spandex blend. And, oh, did you ask me steamer, not streamer? I love that question. I don't know. I got my steamer on Amazon and I will link it in the description, but I do have a live coming up on all of the products that I use on a regular basis. And I know steamer is one of them, but it's like a no-name brand, popular on Amazon. I bought it. I love it. It works great and it heats up fast. Okay, so I'm going to get to some of these questions in a second. So this is the Chico shirt. It's a blend, no iron, which I do love. And this is one that I really like when I want to feel polished and dressed up. Like if I have a special occasion and want to feel really put together. This is one that I wear. And they have this in probably 10 to 15 colors. And I actually have it in a few colors, but it's a full button down and it has a little bit of nice shaping. I like the fit through the shoulders. This is definitely not an everyday wear for me because it's just too fitted. But if I'm dressing up, we're going out to dinner, we have a special event to go to, I'm doing a YouTube video and want to look a little bit more polished, these Chico's no iron shirts are great. All right, now let me look at some of these questions. Let's see here. What brand steamer? Okay, so Preppy Gigi is a plus gal and used to buy a lot of work shirts from Lane Bryant because their button-ups used to have a French cuff option as well as two internal buttons to prevent gaping. That is great. I don't know of anybody who does that anymore. I love hearing about that. I wonder if they still make them. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen anything like that, but I would love a shirt for there. All right, then I have a couple of short sleeve shirts that I wanted to talk about because we're going to start getting into warmer weather. And this is another one from Quint's. I actually showed it in a couple of capsule wardrobe videos. This has not been steamed or ironed in any way. This is one that I just pull out. It has a little bit of linen-y wrinkle to it, but you know what? I usually don't care. I throw it in the washer, I throw it in the dryer, and when it's done, I take it out right away and hang it up so that it won't get overly wrinkled. And I just live in it that way. But this is 100% linen, very nice. It's oversized. I probably could have even gone down a size in this. This is their extra large. I would have been just fine going to a large in this. This is probably out of all of these the most oversized, but it's linen, it's breezy, it's meant to be relaxed and crinkly and comfortable. You can pop the collar on that. I've layered this under sweaters, worn it with sweaters over my shoulders. Yeah, it's a great little shirt, especially if you're a person that doesn't like to wear t-shirts, which I really don't. I like having a short sleeve shirt and it's long enough that my arm is covered to about here. I don't feel exposed, but yet it's light and so breathable. And this is one that I got from Ruti, R-U-T-I. I'm going to pull this up here so you can see it. Oh my gosh, this is another one of my favorites, and I had no idea I was going to love it this much. It's very drapey. You can see all the ruching in the back. Has some ruching up here at the top, but it makes for a really light, airy, billowy shirt. And I love to layer it. Sometimes if I'm just wearing it like today, I would just tuck the front half and leave the back out. But if I want to layer it, I love layering this under my Quint's oversized cashmere sweaters. And did I say over? Under my cashmere sweaters. Because it gives me a short sleeve and I can pop the collar and the collar stays up great all day long. So this was a little sleeper hit that I did not expect to love as much as I do. And I want to check the fabric on this. So it's modal and polyester. So this is 100%, yeah, not natural. Out of all of these, this is the only one, this and the Chico shirt, that have some man-made fibers in them. But that is all of my white shirts. Let me see what some of these questions are. Polished After 60 Yvette said, I have such a hard time finding white shirts that fit well. What is it that you're looking for? Do you want a more fitted shirt? Do you like a boxier cut? That's what you need to look at and think about before you're going shopping. And one of the things I'll do is if I have a shirt, doesn't matter what the color is, but if I like the cut of it, I will take the measurements of that shirt and I will get a measuring tape. I'll measure it across the bust line. I'll measure it across the waist and hip and know those measurements of my favorite shirt. And you can even measure the sleeve here so that you know how far down it's going to go. Take those measurements, and when you're shopping online or looking in a store, just pull out a measuring tape and get one of those little retractable measuring tapes and measure it to see if it's going to fit the way you want before you're buying it, getting it home, and not liking another shirt. Trick I learned from, I used to own a yarn store, and we used to have people take their most popular sweaters, their favorite sweaters, and then we would help them design a custom sweater for them based off their favorite sweater. So then they'd be able to knit it up to their exact same measurements, just the way they wanted. And it worked every time. So you kind of need to do the same thing when you're looking for that ideal shirt. Automast. Oh, let's see. Wait, I don't want to miss this one. What about creamer or off-white? I cannot wear a true white. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Go for creams, ivory. One thing that I love about Quints, this Oxford doesn't come in white, but they do have so many off colors that are not that pure white that will help take care of that. You can find an oat, a cream, an ivory that will be more flattering to your skin type. All right. And Autumn asks, do you have any tips for features to look for on a white button-down shirt you intend to wear under a thin sweater? Well, I like to look for shirts that are a little bit more fitted. Like if I'm specifically going to wear one under a sweater, I look for a lighter weight cotton poplin. So this is a cotton poplin. And I also like to find some that are a little bit more fitted, like this Quint's cotton poplin. This is a lot more fitted than their oversized Oxford. So that's going to be much better if you're wearing it with a sweater. You also won't have that bulk. One of the things I noticed, and I can get away with this with, say, so here's an oversized Quint's cashmere sweater. I can wear it with this and not have any issues whatsoever. But sometimes when I wear it with my oversized Oxfords, like the Quint's oversized Oxfords, I get a little bit of like bulkiness that I have to straighten out. It's not as easy to put on. I've got to move the sleeves around and get everything situated so I don't have weird bulk in places. But I still do it because I do love these Oxfords. Let's see what else. So yeah, I would look for cotton poplins rather than Oxfords when you're trying to wear it under a sweater. Oh, you're welcome. Any other questions I can answer for you? Coming up on almost a half an hour, so if there was any other shirts you wanted to see, feel free to ask. All right, I don't see any other questions. I've given you all of my info. Don't forget, I've linked them here in YouTube Shopping and right in the description. It's the first line of the description, a link to my Shop My, where all the shirts I talked about today are going to be linked. So go check them out. Thank you so much for watching. Stay gorgeous, and I'll see you in the next one on Wednesday.